You ever wake up and just feel exhausted by your own routine? Like no matter how hard you try, you're running in place. And the more you push yourself, the further the finish line seems to drift. That weight in your chest every morning when the alarm goes off, the quiet whisper that says, maybe today will be different. It's familiar, isn't it? You scroll through your phone, hoping inspiration will magically appear, while the day slips quietly away. Here's the truth no one tells you. Discipline isn't hard because you lack willpower. It's hard because the system we live in is designed to keep you comfortable, to keep your mind chasing fleeting pleasures instead of long-term growth. Every app, every notification, every tiny convenience is a trap dressed up as progress. And if you've been blaming yourself for not being strong enough, I want you to hear me when I say it's not your fault. But here's the part no one ever told you. There's a hidden switch inside your brain, a way to flip the discomfort into momentum. And once you find it, everything about discipline changes. Suddenly, the struggle that used to feel unbearable becomes strangely manageable. You start waking up with energy, focus, and a quiet sense of control that makes other people wonder what your secret is. Imagine yourself 1 year from now, looking back at today. Will you see it as the moment you gave up again, or the day you discovered the thing that finally made discipline feel natural? Because once you understand this, you'll never see yourself or your life the same way again. You see, here's what most people don't get. Discipline doesn't fail because you're weak or because you're lazy. It fails because your brain is wired to seek comfort, not progress. From the moment you wake up, every little choice you make is a battle between immediate reward and long-term payoff. Your mind loves the easy path, scrolling through social media, hitting snooze, grabbing whatever's convenient. And the funny part, you've been trained to feel guilty about it, to think something is wrong with you. But that's a lie. You weren't born undisciplined. You were born human. Your environment, your habits, even the way the world is designed around instant gratification, it all stacks against you. And the reason discipline feels like climbing a mountain isn't because you lack willpower, it's because you've been playing by rules no one ever explained. Now imagine what would happen if you flipped those rules in your favor. What if the very discomfort that once made you quit became the signal that you were growing, evolving, leveling up? That's the secret most people miss. The people who seem naturally disciplined didn't start that way, they discovered the switch. They learned how to rewire their routines, how to let focus become automatic instead of forced. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes, how to take the weight of discipline off your shoulders and make it feel like second nature. Once you understand this, the tension, the resistance, the hardness of discipline starts to fade, replaced by a quiet power that makes other people wonder how you do. Let's get practical for a moment, because knowing why discipline feels hard only takes you halfway. The real shift happens when you take control of your environment, your habits, and your mind in ways most people overlook. The first trick, start small. Not wake up at 5 a.m. and run a marathon small, something so tiny it feels almost ridiculous. Make one decision today that reinforces control instead of comfort. It might be as simple as making your bed, turning off notifications, or saying no to one thing that doesn't serve you. Here's why it works. Every small win triggers a ripple effect in your brain. Dopamine surges, confidence rises, and suddenly the act of discipline becomes less like a battle and more like a rhythm you're dancing to. That's the hidden architecture of success that people never teach you. Most people try to leap into massive habits and crash, blaming themselves when failure is inevitable. But the truth, they're skipping the foundation. Now imagine stacking these small wins day after day. 1 week, 2 weeks, A month, and suddenly the version of you who used to procrastinate, who used to feel trapped by temptation, starts to feel different. Not just in what you achieve, but in who you are. The struggle doesn't vanish overnight, but the way you experience it shifts. Discomfort becomes a sign of growth, resistance becomes a cue to focus, and your mind begins to crave the very things it once resisted. And here's the kicker: once you master this, discipline stops being a skill you have to force. It becomes a natural extension of who you are, something that flows through your day without debate, without guilt, without struggle. That's the invisible power most people miss, and it's waiting for you right now. Now that you understand the foundation, it's time to level up. Discipline isn't just about doing things, it's about thinking differently, feeling differently, and seeing your own potential in a new light. One of the most powerful shifts I've learned is this: stop treating discomfort as your enemy. Most people fight it, avoid it, or complain about it. But here's the secret: discomfort is the signal that growth is happening. It's your brain telling you this matters. Pay attention. Start noticing it. When you feel that resistance, don't push against it with brute willpower. Lean into it. Acknowledge it. Let it guide you toward the choices that will expand your capabilities. The small victories we talked about, they're amplified when you pair them with this mindset. Every tiny act of control becomes a statement to yourself: I am capable. I am present. I am in charge. Another trick the disciplined use and few ever share is designing their environment to make success easier than failure. Remove temptations before they even appear. Replace distractions with cues that pull you toward your goals. Your surroundings, your tools, your schedule, they are either working for you or against you. Choose wisely. Imagine a life where each day the hard decisions feel easier because your mind is trained to flow with discipline instead of resisting it. You wake up focused, your energy is consistent, and the tasks that once crushed you now feel manageable. People start noticing your change, not because you're showing off, but because your actions speak louder than excuses. This is where discipline stops feeling like a burden and starts feeling like freedom. And once you experience that freedom, you'll see why so many people give up before they even begin. They never learn how to let it work with them instead of against them. By now, you've seen it, the hidden root behind why discipline feels hard, why you've struggled, and how small, deliberate actions can completely change the way you experience your life. But here's the part most people will never get: knowledge alone isn't enough. Transformation happens when you take what you've learned today and apply it relentlessly. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Every decision, every choice, every morning you rise and do what matters instead of what's easy builds momentum. That momentum compounds faster than you think, and before long, the person who once felt trapped by distractions is now unstoppable. Think about it: what would your life look like if discipline didn't feel like a battle anymore? If the things that once overwhelmed you became natural, almost effortless. You'd start finishing projects you've been putting off for months, showing up fully in your relationships, feeling proud of your own consistency, and watching opportunities you never imagined start to appear. That's the power of mastering this hidden switch. And here's one last insight: the people who seem untouchable with focus, energy, and results didn't stumble onto it by accident. They understood the patterns, they mastered their habits, and they flipped the discomfort into momentum. You can do the same, starting right now. If you're ready to take it further, I've got something that will sharpen your edge even more. Check out the next video, Outsmart Anyone with these 5 hidden rules. It dives into success, negotiation, and emotional control tools that will elevate your discipline into influence and real-world results. Remember, this isn't just advice. It's a blueprint. Apply it and watch your mornings, your mindset, and your life transform. Because once you master discipline, you don't just get results, you reclaim your freedom. We are Wisdom Recorder. Subscribe and like for more content and step into the life you've been capable of all along.